This is so common. You've studied hard, but phrases like the whole day and top shelf sneak in the English way and trip you up when you try to speak Portuguese. That's when natives get lost or switch to English. What's the alternative to translating in your head first? Let me show you how tuning into native content helps you stop translating and finally relax into effortless, natural Portuguese. Imagine Portuguese grammar is a stack of books. You've been doing everything right, learning rules, keeping them in order, adding one more on top every time you find a new exception. But at some point, the stack gets too heavy. When you try to speak, your hands are full of rules, and you can't actually use them. You can't see the conversation in front of you, and you definitely cannot relax. And that's why phrases like the whole day or top shelf sneak in the English way. Because translating in your head is basically trying to speak while carrying that whole pile. So what's the alternative? Not forget grammar, keep the books. Just stop carrying them while you speak. Instead, open one book, step into a story. When you're inside a real story, your brain starts doing something completely different. It stops asking, what's the rule? And starts noticing, how do they keep saying this? Here's what I mean. Let's say you're watching a simple scene at home and a woman keeps repeating, "Prateleira de cima." You don't need to translate every word. You just stay curious. Okay, she's cleaning. She keeps saying prateleira. Sounds like it's something in the kitchen. A shelf maybe? Then a minute later you hear prateleira de baixo. And she moves her hand lower and starts cleaning underneath. Now it clicks without effort. Prateleira de cima, top shelf. Prateleira de baixo, bottom shelf. And notice what your brain just learned naturally. Portuguese tends to say the thing first and then the which one, what kind part after. So instead of building the sentence in English first, top plus shelf, you start feeling the Portuguese order, shelf plus top. That's the shift. You're not trying to force the right word order with one more rule. You're training your ear to recognize chunks the way natives actually say them, and then your mouth follows. And this is where it gets exciting. You start correcting yourself. One Unschool in my program told me I posted my couple sentences of the day and went back to watching the stories. Then I realized from one of the stories that I made a mistake, and I was able to go back and correct my own error before Katerina pointed it out. That's what listening first does. Your ear becomes your teacher. If you want to practice this in a really simple way, try out my free mini start. It's one short story, natural but slower European Portuguese, plus exercises that help you notice the patterns. You can get the mini start in the description. And as you listen, keep it simple. Don't overthink it. Just ask, what keeps being repeated? What changed this time? What did the situation show me about the meaning? That's how Portuguese starts to feel less backwards and more like something you can finally speak without your head hurting. One important thing though, don't fool yourself into thinking immersion alone is enough. If you have the time, the brain plasticity, and the survival pressure of a child, then sure, you could just absorb Portuguese passively and wait. But most of us aren't children. We've got jobs, routines, and a brain that's very good at doing the easy thing, often translating. So the goal isn't just more Portuguese, it's better listening. You want input that keeps you engaged, and you want to stay just alert enough to notice patterns. Here's a simple rule I want you to use. If something is similar to your native language, notice it quickly and move on. Don't waste brain space. If something is different, slow down for a second and pay attention. That's where the progress is. That's how you reduce cognitive load and actually start understanding fast European Portuguese in real life. And that's exactly what my mini start trains you to do. One story, real Portuguese, guided noticing, so you can stop translating and start building natural word order. I bet you'll also like watching this video next. It's about a few Portuguese cultural traits that show up in the language all the time. It's a great way to start practicing that pattern recognition muscle, and it will make native conversations feel a lot less random.